Uranium friends, let's talk energy fuels, the 4U. So, I've done a bunch of videos on this exact dynamic, and let's just say these are the boxes, and I'm always going to work with these boxes until something changes. So, we're starting to catch some insider buying coming through on the 4Us, and it would make sense. This is where I'm a buyer, that's for sure. So, that's the deal. If you want, you can look at the previous videos, but it's pretty simple. The way I approach energy fuels, I buy in here and I sell up here. It's just that simple. And until that changes, and there's going to be a point where it changes for better or for worse, where it either breaks down out of these value areas or it breaks up through them. Time will tell. That's the deal. So there's a possibility of a reversal in the works finally, right? So uh, I don't even think I posted this on Twitter, so I'm hesitant to say it, but I picked up $5 calls. They were in the money at the time, so it's probably somewhere in here where I bought them. And I still got them. So I really don't have any physical shares of UUUU because it thing's just kind of a pain in the ass to even play. So I'd rather just, buy long dated calls that are in the money and just play it that way. So that's kind of the way I'm doing it. But let's just forget about that for now. Let's just talk about the potential for the reversal that could be shaping up. Daily chart, a pretty big move here. This was just dumperama here. I don't even know what it was. I don't care. It did hold this level, and that's a really good sign. Right? So it's in the box, it checks the boxes for me, and that's why I took a little bit of an entry, and I will be looking to add to this name. And there's a couple of things I see, and there's a couple of spots where I'm going to want to be adding. And you all can have fun and add to, I guess, or do whatever you want. Don't just blindly follow. Do what works for you and within your risk tolerances. But so yeah, this back test here, and a nice little undercut too. But that's just what it is. It's what you does, annoyingly enough. But I'm starting to look at my next ad will be the next daily high or low. So I'm going to be looking for some sort of action like this. All right. So it took this drive. It's coming up here. I want to see it come down and make some sort of test, create a higher low pivot, and then maybe just go on to confirm the trend change to whatever it does. I don't know what it's going to do. It's just, you can ask me for predictions on anything. I can't, I don't make predictions. I just kind of work the action. I have a plan in my head about what I think could possibly happen with energy fuels from here that I'm going to try to articulate in this video, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be right. I'm just kind of, I have a roadmap that I want to follow, right? So my first part of my roadmap was to see this little area hold. The rule number one for me was, did it get to the lower end of the box? Yeah, it kind of did, right? So there's plenty of spots where I say, all right, decent support level. All right, that checks the box number one for me for wanting to position up. Okay, rule number two was, did it backtest this support, bounce, and hold? And it did. So that's when I took this entry. So my next move is going to be I'm looking for that pivot. That's what I'm looking for. So what I think is the most likely scenario for this, and this is speculative, and if anybody really pays attention to me, I very rarely speculate on anything. And I'm not even going to speculate. I can just see it happening. And this is what I can see happening. And it would make all the sense to me. All right. So this is your weekly chart. We're in the box. Left shoulder. Come back up, test the top of the box neckline. Head, which is here now. Come back up, test this neckline area. Come back and make a right shoulder for the inverse head and shoulders for the move. That's what I'm looking for. And it was probably what I'm going to try to play. And you saw it happen here, right? Hold on. I messed this up. I suck at this. Uh, kind of saw it happen here, right? Pretty much a fail. Or maybe, maybe it did make that measured move. But this is the stuff that I'm looking for. See this? I want to see, on this next pullback to this support, which is I would think it gets there. I don't know. It could just V shape. Who knows? You want to see the basing action and whether it creates this pattern. But just the way this thing looks to me, it looks to me like it's going to want to do this inverse head and shoulders move. So, in the technical analysis world, we call this early pattern recognition, and it's just, you know, we're just keeping an eye on this. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm not really formulating anything. I will be looking for confirmation, but the first thing that I'm looking for now, in my opinion, is we're going to need some sort of pivot get created. And just like I talked about in the ETFs videos, and I'll shoot over here for a second. Okay, I made a video last night, and I said we need to find a pivot off of this big run. This is a big move. We found our pivot. How did we get our pivot? Because it broke yesterday's high, and it's got follow through, right? So it closed at its highs. URNM closed at its highs. So these guys have created their pivots. Coincidentally, right at the daily 12 EMA, your NJ was a little bit of a lagger behind that, but it did it, right? So, when you see a break like this on these two ETFs and the third one hasn't done it, it's a reasonable play. And interestingly enough, your NJ hit the 12 EMA solid yesterday before these guys did. So it's just something to pay attention to. The long term, hold your nose and wait for the moonshot guys. I don't even know why you're watching my videos. To be honest with you, this is trade around the core stuff, right? So I own a lot of uranium. I've been in the space and I've been holding stuff since February of 2021, mainly the ETFs, and no question, a nice chunk of SPUT. As far as I'm concerned, my core is the ETFs, my core is the physical, the rest is subject to trading. So that's what I'm looking for on the 4Us. I'm looking for a pivot. Uh, I'm looking for a 12 EMA hold. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes all the way back down here and just starts to chop around and fill a base, maybe do some undercuts here. Anything's possible. It's the 4Us, but I'm definitely looking for a look like this. I'm definitely looking for a look like this to know that a reversal's in the works. And then we can get up into these value areas, hopefully. So that's the way I'm playing it. I will be taking another position, whatever when the next higher low shows itself. I may, if it starts to come up here and test, I may trim out some of those calls just to lock in some profit. At the moment, I'm not locking in profit. I think they're up like 60, 70% right now. No big deal. That's the deal on the 4Us. You look for the reversal here. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but this is the spots. And when you see the insiders buying in oversold conditions inside the lifetime of the stock's value areas, it's a good, for me, it's always worth the shot. So, and that's the way I'm playing it. Over and out.